Hi there, today is the first of my videos where I discuss running form. I'm going to be leaving specific drills and exercises that you can do that will be teaching your body the biomechanics of good running form for later videos. Today's video is far more simpler to implement, and it's one thing only to think about when you're out on your next run. Do yourself a favor and check out a YouTube video or two on what top level elite runners are doing. Elite runners run at a stride rate of 180 to 200 strides per minute. When I watch casual runners out in my local park doing their morning or their evening run, I seldom see a stride rate exceeding about 110 or 120 strides per minute. And those are the exceptions rather than the rule. The vast majority are operating at a stride rate of under 100 a minute. What does this mean? Well, if you're running at such a slow stride rate, the chances are that you're overstriding. And when you're overstriding, you're heel striking. And when you're heel striking, you're effectively killing all of your momentum every time your foot hits the ground. The body will naturally adapt and bring your high stride rate to a foot strike more directly under your center of balance, which is in all likelihood going to be something more of a midfoot type of foot strike. And it also means that you've got less contact time with the ground. I'm talking really vastly reducing your chance of injury. Your fitter and stronger elite athletes have a slightly longer stride, but the stride rate still remains at the 180 to 200 rate. And where the stride length increases, it doesn't increase out the front like what you have with your casual runners digging the heel in at every footfall. Where the stride length increases is out the back of the stride, the length to which you push off behind you on each stride. There was video analysis done of every single athlete competing at the 1984 Olympic Games. In the study, every distance from the 800 meters up to the marathon, men and women were checked, and out of everybody, there was only one athlete that came in with a stride rate of under 180, and her stride rate was 176, so not exactly very far off. For instance, in London in 2011, when Lagat outkicked Bekele in the last lap of their race, Lagat's stride rate remained at just over 200 strides per minute for the entire race. So the stride rate did not increase when he was sprinting for the finish. The only thing that increased was the stride length, the amount of power that he was putting through each stride going out the back. So to summarize, the benefits of running with a high stride rate is simple. You reduce overstriding, therefore you reduce injuries, and you increase your running efficiency. Sure, when you first start running at an incredibly high stride rate, what you're going to have to do is drastically reduce your stride length. There's no ways you can start off straight away with a high stride rate and keeping your long loping strides that you have been running with up until now. It's going to require a serious mind shift. It's going to require serious focus. But seriously, next time you're out on your run, give it a try. Shorten your stride down, increase your cadence. There was a study done at the University of Wisconsin, and in the study, a group of runners increased their stride rate by 10%. What did this 10% increase in their stride rate do? It drastically reduced the generated forces up through the feet, ankles, knees and hips with each foot stride. The second thing that changed was a drastic increase in the engagement of both the gluteus muscles and the hamstring muscles with each stride. And your hamstrings and your glutes are where your running power comes from. So, by increasing stride rate, without even noticing, their running power on each stride increased. The current study being done at the moment is to be able to accurately calculate the reduction of force through the knee joint to be able to give runners a clear indication of number specific, measured in newtons, how much less force will be put onto your knees and how much less force will be put onto your hips with each stride if you maintain your higher stride rate. Compared to trying to change your stride length, increasing your stride rate is relatively simple. A person's stride length can vary depending on how tall you are, what your degree of hip mobility is, and all of these type of factors. But anybody very easily can increase their stride rate. Remember, it takes more energy to run with a longer stride length. So running with a longer stride length at a low cadence will drastically reduce your power levels while at the same time increasing your fatigue levels. Next time you're out on your run, or for that matter, the next time you're on the treadmill, which is the easiest place to play around with your stride rate, count the number of times your right foot hits the ground or hits the treadmill over a 30-second period. Take that number, multiply it by 4. That will get you your stride rate per minute. Once you know your stride rate per minute, see how it compares to the 180 to 200 strides per minute that the elite runners are doing. And the elite runners do 180 to 200 because it's the most efficient. Because it's the most efficient way to use the energy reserves that they have. And it also reduces their chance of injury. An elite athlete getting injured reduces their earnings potential. They are going to do everything they can to stay injury-free and be as efficient as possible. So why don't you? Remember, if you're out running, keep hydrated, both in training and in between training sessions. And keep yourself fueled up with good, wholesome, whole plant foods and carbs for the win. See you next time.